You know, Colossians 1:16 and Jude 1:6 are interesting verses. Colossians 1:16 says, God created a realm we can't see yet. And in that realm are thrones, kingdoms, rulers, and authorities. That implies an area, a territory, and the oversight of that territory. In Jude, verse 6 says that some angels didn't stay within the limits of authority God gave them. They left the place they belonged. One day I got a call from a church leader in North Arkansas. And he said, Steve, you came and did a thing on heaven years ago, and we love that. And I know you're working on a book on spiritual warfare. And I've got a weird question for you. He said, my daughter just bought the house next door. Now, we live on a 2-acre lot outside the edge of town, and it's a nice area, and the house next door became available, and my daughter has purchased that house. She and her husband and kids are moving into that house. We're excited about having her close because I'm in my 70s now and I have a few health problems, and we're excited they also got a good deal on the house. But we're very concerned because the last 3 couples who lived in that house got divorced. I don't want that to happen to my daughter. What do I need to do to clean up the territory? No one had ever asked me that before. And I said, well, there's this guy that called me named Bill. He was about to commit suicide, and he said he had demons on his property, and this is what we did. So I told him the story about the stakes with the Bible verses on it. He said, man, I love that idea. That's so biblical. Send me 3 sets of stakes. I'll mail you a check. About 6 weeks later, he called me. He said, Steve, I got your stakes in on a Saturday, and it was perfect timing because my daughter and her family were moving in next door the next day on Sunday afternoon. So we took the first set of stakes and I put around my house. Now, you know, I didn't think I needed it. You know, I'm all prayed up, everything's fine. But I just went ahead and put them around my house. And then I took the next set of stakes and put around her house. And we put them all the way in the ground and read the verses, just like you said, in the 4 corners of her house outside. And then we went in the house and we prayed in every room and every closet. Lord, make this a house of peace and safety and unity from my daughter and her family. And I said, well, what did you do with the 3rd set of stakes? He said, I put them on the corners of her 2-acre lot. I said, okay, wait a minute. So you got 2 sets of stakes around the same house? He said, hey, castles used to have a moat and a wall. I said, okay, I get that. He said, I love my daughter and I wanted all that protection for her. So I said, well, what happened? He said, I went to bed at 10 o'clock that night and I was excited to get that done after I heard your stories. And about midnight, I woke up and it sounded like an NFL football player was running on our roof. Boom, 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 boom. You know, and I jumped up and put my jeans on and put my spotlight and grabbed my shotgun. And I went out there. Somebody's on our roof, you know. And he said, I went all the way around the house twice. Wasn't anything up there you could see with human eyes. And I was so puzzled by the noise and the commotion, I came back in and I was kind of scratching my head and it started up again. Boom, 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 boom. And I knew what it was then. It was demonic. And I just hit my knees and I started praying. He said, Steve, it went on for 4 hours. It ran on the roof. It beat on the walls. It scratched on the vent pipes that go up from the kitchen and the bathroom. He said 3 times it got so loud that I went back out with my shotgun and flashlight thinking somebody has to be out there, but there was nothing you could see with human eyes. He said, you know, I thought I was fine, but whatever it was we ran out of the other house was mad at me, so I'm glad I staked out my house too. He said, I waited 6 weeks to call you to make sure it took, but I've never had another problem. He said, you're right. God's word is still powerful. Thanks for telling me about this. Keep praying.